Reading for Wildlife. Written and illustrated by Zella, a project by Zella and friends. An elephant for breakfast.
Chapter 10. The Card. "Tom, why ever not?" cried Rose. "I might be wrong, but there were a few small things that made me wonder. The tall one's uniform didn't fit properly. Did you notice that the legs of his trousers were too short and the collar on his shirt was a little tight?" asked Tom. "No," said Rose, but Freddie nodded. "I noticed his name badge was Paul Everest," added Rose, "and the other shorter, squatter policeman was Adam Strong." "The fat one, his uniform was a size too small," said Tom. "Also, I don't think policemen come inside your house without being invited, or at least having a search warrant. And look at the business card he gave us. It looks as if it's been printed from a home computer." "And look," said Freddie, pointing at the card. "What?" asked Rose and Tom. "No police badge," said Freddie. Freddie's right. It doesn't have the police crest on it. And do you remember that they suggested the package might contain explosives? Yet we all know that is complete rubbish, added Tom. "How can we help, Uncle Cosmo?" asked Freddie. "I don't know," Tom replied, "but we do need to be careful, because if those two are not real policemen, then I think they'll come back to search for the chocolate." "My guess," said Rose, "is that they want the ivory, and they are looking for Uncle Cosmo in order to find it. It's lucky then that the box is at Aunt Lily and Uncle Crispin's house." "That's a good point, Rose," said Tom. "But if they know us, they may know that Uncle Crispin also lives in this street." "Surely they'd have turned the other way towards Uncle Crispin's house if they'd known he lived here," suggested Rose. "I think that they know about us because the package is addressed to us at 17 Paradise Road. But it will not take them long to work out that Uncle Crispin lives in this street too." They heard the front door bell ring. The children jumped. It gave them such a fright. Who could it be at this time? Cautiously, they went downstairs to the front door and looked through the hatch. There stood their parents, smiling. They opened the door. "Haven't you finished the washing up yet? I'll help you," offered Father. As they did the dishes, the children explained that Uncle Cosmo had arrived and then left almost immediately, and that they had had a visit from two policemen who had given them a slightly odd card. Father asked to see the card. He agreed that it was missing the crest. But then he took a closer look. "This is a Kenyan telephone number. Wait a minute. I think I recognize that number. I'm sure I do. Let's check. Yes, it's the phone number for Uncle Cosmo's factory. How odd." He frowned. So he or someone in his factory knows about the ivory. But I wonder who. Mother said, "And Cosmo, how did he look? Had he eaten? Was he well?" Freddie said, "He looked awful." "Yes," added Rose, "he looked as if he hadn't slept properly in days." "Oh dear," said Mother, "I'd better take him a warm supper." And she began to heat up some of the shepherd's pie and make a little basket for him. She added grapes, fresh lemonade, and homemade chocolate brownies with great daubs of caramel, extra lumps of chocolate, and a little flaky sea salt on the top. For the last few days, her brownies had been exceptionally good. She even remembered to take a candle and matches, because there would be no electricity in the abandoned house. So there.
With enormous thanks to Tony Hawks. Here is how you can help. Share the story. Adopt an animal from afar. Visit when you can. Educate yourself. Donate to a conservation charity. To find out more about Reading for Wildlife, visit zellahunter.com or at Lady Zella Books, or follow the Reading for Wildlife YouTube channel.